Hi everyone, my name is Trevor Gordon. I do the media relations community engagement with Epilepsy South Central Ontario. Today we're going to have a chat with someone named Mark. Mark is doing a fundraising initiative. He works with Remax, and I'm just going to brag about him a little bit, share a little bit about his bio. So Mark has been a realtor for about 9 years. He likes to play pool in his spare time. I like to take him up on that, a one-on-one. We'll see who is better at pool. He likes F1 racing. Fall is his favorite season. Okay. And this is the most controversial part of his bio. He likes pineapple on his pizza. Mark likes pineapple on his pizza. So that's what we're going to spend the next 10 minutes talking about. No, I'm joking, of course. Let's meet Mark, okay? Just going to line us up so we can see each other, all right? Can you see me there, Mark?
I can. Can you see me? Can you hear me okay?
I can. It looks like you got a haircut since we last saw each other.
I did. Yes, it was the mop was getting too much. I had to get the trim on the sides. Every 3 weeks or so it just puffs right out. I got to get a nice trim.
I understand. I need to get a fade soon myself. So Mark, I was sharing your bio for a moment while we were waiting for you to join us.
Okay.
You've worked with Remax for 9 years. You've been you like to play pool, that's fine. You like F1 racing, that's fine. Fall, favorite season, fine. Pineapple on pizza though.
Yeah,
I feel like you're the opposite of everyone I talk to. Normally everyone's like, oh, I put anything on my pizza, but not pineapple.
I don't know.
You like pineapple.
I don't know what the hate's for with the pineapple on the pizza. I mean, sometimes have you ever gotten a dry piece of pizza and you just wish something was, a little juicy to help bring it down? A little bit of pineapple gives you a little flavor and away you go. It's fantastic.
Well, I think you're starting off this segment with a controversial take. So you can send your feedback to Mark directly. I don't endorse any of his comments. I'm just here to help guide him on his journey with this segment here. So way to start this.
I'll be happy to take anybody out for a slice of pizza that wants to go up for pineapple. So you can anybody who's listening who heard that, take me up on that. We'll go for a slice of pizza.
Well, before we get to the questions, I mean, do you have a favorite pizza location?
Oh, that's a good question.
I feel
I don't,
you're in real estate. Real estate, you always have a spot. You always have your spots for things.
I always find that with going to these little mom and pop shops, they end up being the best. And then you go to another small mom and pop shop in a small little town, and they've got the best pizza. And traveling to go see properties with my clients, I always find myself in these little areas with a little hole in the wall with the best pizza. And it's not a chain, so it's not like I can go and get it anywhere else. But yeah, that's a good question. The best pizza? I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I am from Montreal. Montreal pizza is very very different, very delicious as well. So I don't know. That's a good question. I might have to get back to you on that.
All right. Well, I appreciate you wanting to take the time to have this chat. So from the reason why I wanted to have this chat with you is that you've been kind enough to create a fundraising page, and you're raising money for a potential Sunny Days camp in Burlington. So for those that are watching that don't know about Sunny Days camp, Sunny Days camp is a camp specifically for children, ages about 5 to about 15 or so. So a camp that's specifically for children living with epilepsy. A lot of times, a lot of camps out there, unfortunately, turn away children that have epilepsy from camps. So a lot of children that have epilepsy get turned away from these other camps, and they have nowhere to go. Whereas Sunny Days Camp, which we have one in Mississauga, one in Kitchener, we never say no to children living with epilepsy. It's a camp that's encouraged for children with epilepsy, and it's a camp that's not just open to the child that has epilepsy, but if they have brothers or sisters, they're more than welcome to join the camp as well. Because we found that a lot of specialty camps are only for the person that has the condition, whereas epilepsy affects the whole family. So we don't want to not include the brother or sister, you know?
Right.
So the reason that we're chatting to you is that you've been kind enough to create a fundraiser because you're wanting this Sunny Days camp to expand into Burlington and hopefully expand to other parts. I mean, we cover all of South Central Ontario. So you're based out of Burlington, so you're sort of posing a challenge to fundraise for Burlington. So what made you want to do that?
Well, thanks for the question, and again, thanks for the opportunity. I mean, I was diagnosed with epilepsy, going on, I guess, almost 10 years now, and I never had any support, camps, anything that I had growing up. We didn't really.
Mark, are you still there? You froze. Mark, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
You froze there, Mark.
Can you hear me now? Is that better?
I can hear you now.
Okay, there we go. Where did you last hear me?
So let's take two on that. So let's just pretend that you haven't given that answer. So basically, what was the reasoning? Well, let's start off maybe a step back. What's your connection to epilepsy?
Well, I was diagnosed in 2014. I grew up with epilepsy and not knowing that I had it. I mean, there were not very many resources for me as a child back then to get the support that I needed and the guidance that my parents needed. You know, there really wasn't much around. And so as I got older, and some of the triggers started becoming more prominent, I ended up having I guess an accident that led me to the hospital to get diagnosed. And ever since then, there's just something that sparked inside of me that I didn't want anybody else going through life with some of the challenges and difficulties that I went through, not having some of these resources and availability, you know, to feel at home, so to speak, as a child. So, you know, I wanted to give back. I want to be in a position that I can help the individuals that are going through, have gone through, the parents, the brothers and sisters, the family and friends, just everybody that has been affected and is affected with epilepsy. I know firsthand what that's like, and I want to help. I want to do whatever I can to make an impact.
So that leads us to the next question then. I mean, you were kind enough to create a fundraising page specifically to raise money for a potential Sunny Days camp in Burlington. I mean, how's it going so far? Why that sort of specific? I mean, tell us about your relationship to Burlington and tell us you work at Remax as well. So I guess tell us what you're looking to do in the sense of fundraising.
Yeah, sure. So I lived in Burlington pretty much my whole life. I live in Waterdown now, but I grew up in Burlington. I am a real estate agent with Remax in Burlington. So to be able to kind of bring everything together in an area that I know very well, in an area that I grew up in an area that I work in. I think it's also in an area where there currently isn't a camp for kids. You know, there's a whole opportunity here to do something. So what I'm looking to do as a realtor to give back is not only create events and opportunities for the Sunny Day Camp directly, but I want to personally pledge commission money from every sale of a home that I do back towards Epilepsy South Central for the Sunny Day Camp for these kids, so that they have the resources and the fun that they deserve to have.
Wow, that's amazing. What I like about that is, I mean, one, of course, if anyone's considering on buying or selling a house right now, they should contact you, that's for sure. Because we're hearing right now from you that you're going to donate commissions to Epilepsy South Central. Now, but what I also like about it is if right now someone's not buying or selling a house, they can still donate to your fundraising page. And, that 100% is going to go to the Sunny Days Camp potential of expanding in Burlington. So you're giving people two options. One, hey, you're going to buy or sell a house, we need to contact Mark for all those needs. But if someone's not buying a house or selling a house right now, they can still support you by donating to your fundraising page. Why do you think it's important for people like yourself that work for REMAX or any real estate agents, but REMAX being what we're talking about, why do you think it's important for someone to donate their commissions to a charity like Epilepsy South Central Ontario?
That's a good question. Everyone needs a purpose, and I believe that without a purpose, people can get lost in life, and I think that having something like this initiative provides more of a purpose in my everyday than to just buy or sell a house. So I believe strongly that anybody that has the ability to create an impact and to do good in this world, especially in today's day and age, should at least consider the options. So I think that people who can should to the best that they can. And so if anybody is in a position where they can, give a little bit, it does feel good to do that. So this is where I'm trying to give back.
You're dealing with you living with epilepsy. Have you faced any people, sharing untrue myths with you, or have you been sort of judged in an unfair way? Have you been treated in an unfair way, or what have you shared any roadblocks that you face living with epilepsy?
Definitely. I come across it quite frequently, actually. There's a very large stigma when someone hears that I have epilepsy. They actually apologize to me, which, it's, I don't know why someone's apologizing. It's something that I'm, living with. It's something that I'm conquering. It's something that I'm overcoming. It's something that I'm dealing with. I don't think that there's enough information out there, or there's not enough education out there for people to really understand what's going on. So when I'm talking to somebody about epilepsy or seizures, the misinformation that's out there, and the ability to educate those who are willing to take the time to learn, I think there's a big opportunity here to do so. So again, with this, I'm hoping that this is opening the door to people that are going to take the time to sit down with somebody who has epilepsy, learn about it from their personal perspective, and get better insight on it. Because I get challenged quite regularly.
The one thing that I will say, and I know right away some people out there are going to say I'm being biased here, but I've been in the epilepsy community staff-wise for close to 8 or 9 years. And the epilepsy clients that I've met, or the clients that live with epilepsy, I feel are the strongest people I've ever met in my entire life. because I've seen seizures many times, and a person will come to after they had their seizure, and I'm pushing things out of their way to make sure that they're safe and not hurt themselves, and they'll come to, the person will come to, and then they'll look at me like, Trevor, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. You had the seizure. And they look at me like this is part of their life. This is their norm. This is their normal. And I'm looking a little, shook and making sure that they're okay, pushing things out of the way. I might have bruised my leg while I'm, pushing something out of the way. I might have even got kicked in a place that I didn't want to get kicked while the person was having a seizure. And the person living with the epilepsy, the person that had the seizure, is asking if I'm okay. And they're reassuring me, and because they're the strongest people I know, and they're just living their normal. And so I just wonder, just if you can comment on that, like, do people seem to maybe treat you maybe a little more than you want to be treated sometimes? Like, this is your normal. Like, how do you handle that?
I do. Definitely. There are definitely some cases where um, some might think I'm not capable, that some of the limitations that I have, would restrict me from doing something. There's obviously family, they're always worried that, I live alone, so there's always that fear of, well, what if something happens and no one's around? And so there's always, again, there's always something to have to deal with. But I think that also, like you said, is what makes us so strong, is that we're constantly having to overcome and conquer some of these challenges. That is what makes us, epilepsy warriors. We just keep going. We fight through the hard times, and we become stronger people because of it.
You were kind enough to come into our office to do some video recordings. And the one thing that we had discussed is that, epilepsy organizations, or epilepsy is the third most common, maybe even second most common neurological disease, but doesn't get government funding. And it was just interesting to hear your reaction to that. Do you want to share that reaction when you first heard about that?
Yeah, I was blown away. The fact that it can be so, I don't want to say popular, but it can be so prominent that so many people have this disease, and that it isn't actually being looked after the same way that other disorders and diseases get the attention for. And because it's such a common thing for people to have, it strikes me as weird, kind of odd, that the government and there wouldn't be a desire to want to find out more about what happens in a seizure. The brain is a very powerful thing. It controls the whole body, the mind. Why wouldn't we want to take the extra time to look further into it? So it really did surprise me, and it blows me away that we're not able to get more funding that that epilepsy deserves.
I want to take a moment to really put a spotlight on you and Remax for this initiative of donating the commissions. Do you want, like let's talk about that. Like, why do you think, well, I know why you're great, but like, why do you think like what you're doing and Remax is doing, like, why do you, like, how did that start? Like, maybe what I'm trying to say is, I apologize, is like, talk about the program. Like, how did that start? Like, what do you know about this program? And like, take this opportunity to shout out Remax in the sense of like, you guys don't have to do this. So like, how did this, like, what do you know about this program? And like, why is Remax so awesome? And why are you so awesome? Like,
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, so it's an initiative that I personally have put together. Again, because I'm close with the community, having epilepsy myself, I wanted to do something that would be meaningful and impactful. And so with the opportunity to leverage where I can, what I can, the resources, the people, anything possible, I'll do that to try to help. And so for Remax, there's a lot of agents, there's a lot of transactions that take place, and there's a lot of nice, wonderful people that work here that also care. And so working with unbelievable people makes it great to ask for help as well when it's needed. So taking the time to really expand on why we're doing this, or why I'm doing this, is again for the simple fact that I want to impact the lives of people that deserve it, and I want to make a change. I want to create an impactful change in the world, and this is the delivery method as to which I can do that.
I guess what I'm also curious and wondering about is, like, I've met several people specifically from Remax, and I'm not trying to be biased to everyone watching, that are wanting to do this. So that's why I was wondering, is it a specific Remax program? Because I'm not hearing other real estate agencies, at least right now. I'm hoping to challenge those other real estate agencies to do this. But is it just the mindset of Remax employees? When you first get there, was there a manager there that helped motivate this? Like, I mean, obviously you have epilepsy, so you do have a connection, but it just seems to be like something in the water at Remax, that you're all in this motivation to donate. So I'm just wondering, is it a program specifically, or it was just I'm just looking for that, like.
Yeah, there's no Remax motive backing this initiative or this idea at all.
Okay.
I'll be clear with that. For me, it's about showing that there are still people in this world that want to make a change, that care, and that will do whatever is necessary to achieve the goals that they set out to achieve. And so it just so happens to be that being a real estate agent gives me the vehicle, or the ability to provide funding. I mean, I would probably, in any other type of career, find a way to do something similar for epilepsy, being that it touches me so deeply, and my family, and I've seen how it affects the people's lives, and that's what touches me. It's the bigger purpose of making that change and impacting the lives of those people, and unless you've gone through it, or unless you're around it enough to see the real impact that it has, it's not that relatable. And so having epilepsy and wanting to make that change and impact, I'm hoping makes our partnership and our community more I would say intimate. I want to get to know the Epilepsy South Central community more intimately as well. So hopefully we can create more events and things down the line where I'll be able to meet some of these people that are watching this live interview as well.
Well, I thank you for this. I mean, just to hear that it's not even a specific Remax program, but they're obviously, clearly, Remax is hiring the right people, because many of those that we are hearing that are doing this sort of donating of commission happen to be coming from Remax. And to be clear, it's not me trying to say anything negative about the millions of other real estate agencies out there, but so far Remax is kicking butt in the sense of great staff that are wanting to donate their commissions to Epilepsy South Central Ontario and the Sunny Days Camp. So thank you, Mark, for doing that. So I'm going to leave it to you. You get the last word here. Talk about how they can reach you if they want to buy a house, if they want to sell a house, and then indirectly, then you're going to donate that commission from that sale of the house or the buying of the house to Epilepsy. How can they reach you for that? And how can they reach you to donate to that fundraising page?
Well, the easiest way to get a hold of me, I'm always available by phone, so you can call or text 905-220-0136. That's my direct line. You can call my office, 905-333-3500. You can email me, markformagie@gmail.com. So MarkFormagie@gmail.com. And you know what? Those would probably be the easiest ways to get to it. You can also visit mark.formagie at remax.com for the page on the donation. But I would love to have an actual conversation. So please pick up the phone, text me, email me. Let's have a real dialogue. I'd love to meet everybody in person.
Are there any listings that you want to brag about right now while you have the platform? Anything that is out there?
Oh, just got off the market. Just got off the market. Nothing. There are some things in the work. But the last listing that was being discussed is sold. So nothing, nothing to brag about right now. But the last property that was going around the office that I was pumping out to get a buyer for is sold. So I'm keeping my ears open and my boots on the ground, and I'm hustling. I can't wait to get a deal going for a commission to South Central.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you for everything that you're doing to create epilepsy awareness, not just in the sense of the fundraising, but you just creating these conversations. You came into our office, you did tons of video content for us. You're willing to meet with other clients that are living with epilepsy. You're sharing your story with respect to epilepsy. And then, of course, the fundraising. I can't thank you enough for everything that you're doing. Shout out to your fellow employees at REMAX for wanting to donate commissions. I guess my last question is, what would you say to motivate your fellow colleagues at REMAX and even your quote unquote competitors at other real estate agencies to do what you're doing?
Find your why. Find a purpose and lead with that.
Amazing. That's well said. Well, thank you for joining me. Thank you for doing this. And I will be sure to put your Instagram and all those handles in this post.
Yes.
Thank you for those that have been watching this live. The recording will obviously go on our feed. It'll go on Mark's feed. We thank you, and be sure to reach out to Mark, whether it be to buy or sell a house through Mark, whether it be to donate to his fundraising page, or whether it just be to talk about epilepsy awareness. Mark is easy to talk to, and he likes pineapple on his pizza. So.
I do. And last thing too, even if you're looking for contractors, painters, electricians, anything home related that you might need to facilitate something, give me a shout on that as well, because I do have a lot of contacts in the trades world. So if you're not looking to buy or sell in the immediate future, give me a shout anyways. I might still be able to help you with your home renovations or your property management or anything like that.
Perfect. Thank you, Mark.
Alrighty.
All right.
Thanks so much for your time. Take care.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.